So, a little while ago, I saw this movie, and I saw it in the theater because nobody else would. And it's upsetting to me that no one will go and give this movie a chance. This movie is so good. Transformers 1 is peak fiction, and I'm going to review it for you right here, right now. Transformers 1 is a film directed by the Toy Story 4 director himself, Josh Cooley, and it stars Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax / Optimus Prime. And it also stars Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron, or as we know him right now, D16. This film is about the relationship between those two, and it does a damn good job at it. It is so good. It also stars Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee and Scarlett Johansson as Alita 1. And John Hamm as Sentinel Prime, which, by the way, was a fantastic twist with him. This movie is extremely well done. In the first act, it starts off very lighthearted and very easygoing, but then in the second and third act, it gets very dark and gritty. Like I said, this is a very mature kids movie, and it has a little bit of balls. I gotta be honest, it has some balls. This is a very mature film that doesn't treat you like you're a little kid. This doesn't feel like a movie that was meant for little kids. It seems like it was meant for fans. And speaking of fans, I'd say that if you go into this movie and you're not a Transformers fan, you're going to leave this movie as one. You will become a fan after watching this movie. Transformers 1 is just that good. And it actually sets up a sequel really nicely too, in a way that I had never really imagined. So, it's so clever. It's a very smart film. Honestly, this has to be my film of the year, or my animated movie of the year. Up there with The Wild Robot, but I don't care about that movie enough to actually go see it. I'll probably watch it when it actually comes out. Yeah, I'll treat that movie the way the world has treated Transformers 1 right now. This movie has a lot of really fun action and some jokes that didn't necessarily land for me, but a lot of others that actually really did land. I really was surprised with how many times they used the line "Badassatron" in this movie. It was like 5 times when Bumblebee says that. And to be honest, it sounds like they're really trying to push the PG rating a little bit with that, because that's a lot of that's a lot of cuss words. And I've actually noticed that about a lot of animated movies. They've been using cuss words more and more frequently. And I mean, yeah, I guess it's okay because it makes it feel more mature, but it's like, damn, we're really stepping into some uncharted territory with this one. But the jokes were pretty good. The action is awesome. The eventual fight between Optimus Prime and Megatron at the end was just such a treat. There's just so much to love in this movie, and one thing I gotta say is Megatron actually had an extremely reasonable crash out in this movie. Like, I'm watching this, and I don't blame him for becoming as evil as he does. He's a very reasonable and understandable motive behind him. And the thing about Optimus Prime, there's a scene where, I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll describe it like this. Do you remember in Into the Spider-Verse where Miles Morales jumps off the building and, that's his big moment, the moment he became Spider-Man? Well, yeah, there's also a "What's Up Danger" moment in this film for Optimus Prime. And you'll know when you watch it, you'll know the moment he becomes Optimus Prime, and it is so good. I got actual chills sent down my body. Blackout. Actually quite blown away with just how good of a job Chris Hemsworth actually did. He really disappears into the role of Optimus Prime, and you just kind of don't hear Chris Hemsworth anymore. You don't hear Thor. You just hear another version of Optimus Prime. But Brian Tyree Henry, man, he was so good. That man killed it as Megatron. He was killing it. That man absolutely destroyed that role as Megatron. This has to be the best on-screen Megatron we have had in decades. This has to be one of the best Megatron voice performances I have ever seen in the history of Transformers. To accompany this amazing story, we actually have some incredible, and I mean impeccable, animation. This animation was so good. It's on the level of Pixar. It's so freaking good. This has to be one of the best animated films I have ever looked at in years. And I gotta be honest here, this is kind of kicking DreamWorks' ass in terms of the quality. This looked so good. It was such eye candy to watch. The animation was beautiful. Point blank, period. This film isn't very long either. It actually clocks in with a runtime of 1 hour and 45 minutes. Or 1 hour and 40? I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. It didn't really feel long, so the movie definitely doesn't overstay its welcome. But this has to be one of the greatest Transformers films ever put to film. Like, hands down. Easily the best Transformers movie ever made. And I mean, it's a shame that people really aren't seeing it because it has amazing voice performances. It has gorgeous animation. It has Steve Buscemi as Starscream, man. Steve Buscemi is Starscream. And then, you have your other fan stuff. It's got like a lot of lore. It's got a really easy story. It's mature enough for the adults, and it's mature enough for the kids too. Anybody can get into this movie. We have extremely well-written characters, gorgeous animation, really, really nice, fast-paced story, well-told story, pretty great casting, and I think all of that culminates into a solid 8.9 out of 10 for me. Transformers 1 is my animated movie of the year, and it's a shame it's not doing well. It really is. This is a fan's dream come true. This is what Transformers fans are wanting, and this is what we need more of. Paramount, come on. We need stuff like this. This is the kind of Transformers movies people want.